Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started, and we begin with the weather tonight. A beautiful day across the inland northwest today, and it looks like temperatures only going up from here as we head into the weekend. But first, tracking some storms tonight. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy to tell us more about that. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, it's about exactly how we thought this would play out even yesterday, and we're going through it right now. Notice here, 66 degrees, the dew point in the 40s. We have moisture, but most of that stays a little bit farther to our south. As the low moves overhead, we're going to wind up getting more of those storms. And look, a lot of those in southeast Washington, and this playing out almost identically to how we thought it would. Pomeroy in the thick of it as we speak, Steptoe right on the edge of it. A lot of this activity staying down across the Palouse. Pullman, Moscow, you're going to be in it. St. Mary's, you are in it. Coeur d'Alene will see a little bit of activity here in Spokane. It's going to try to make its way up to it, but forecast models kind of keep a bulk of this moisture a little bit farther south. We'll continue to see that move through overnight and out by tomorrow morning. Seriously, thunder, rain, all of it gone by the time you wake up tomorrow, and it's all about the sunshine from there on out, and even as we head into the day on Saturday. 79 degrees tomorrow, a couple morning clouds dissipate, 82 Saturday, 83 on Sunday, and it is all about the sunshine. Over the weekend, we are in the 80s under those sunny skies. It is going to be downright beautiful.
Looking forward to that, Jeremy. Thank you very much. Weeks after both the Gray and Oregon road fires torched parts of Spokane County, people have since been allowed back inside the evacuation zone, some of them to the rubble where their homes used to be. In our effort to bring you more to every story, we are looking into what cleanup will look like, starting with a very important test. KREM 2's Cody Proctor joining us live in the studio tonight with that next step and what it is. Cody?
Well, Mark, that important step is getting an asbestos test, but it's a step that some didn't even realize they needed to take before they could even try rebuilding their lives.
Heartache now turning into headaches for homeowners who lost everything to the Oregon Road and Gray fires. Weeks after they started, people who lost their homes, including this woman who didn't want to show her face, have a new hurdle to deal with.
I get a phone call from a disaster relief gentleman, and he says, have you arranged to have your property surveyed? I says, for what?
The what needing to be surveyed is asbestos. One of her next questions was, how much would it cost?
And he says, I've heard from people $200 all the way up to $2,000 plus. And I went, how is a person supposed to get that kind of money after this type of thing?
It's a question on the minds of many who checked out Wednesday night's community meeting in Medical Lake, touching on debris management.
The most important thing is we're here to make sure everybody's safe.
Their officials shared each burn structure needs to be tested for asbestos before cleanup begins. Fulcrum Environmental Consulting's been helping with some of that testing.
When your house gets burnt down, all of that has been impacted. Some of that ash is presumed to be contaminated with asbestos until it's tested and shown to be otherwise.
Once the testing's done, they'll help come up with a cleanup plan. According to Grout, the cost for their inspection can be about $1,000 to $3,000, depending on each individual property and how much it burned. He says home insurance can help with the cost. While Robert Maljoy, who lost his home in the Gray fire, says his insurance has been helpful so far.
I'm happy with my insurance company so far, so I don't feel like we're going to have problems.
That's not the case for everyone.
It's bad enough we have to try to come up with the difference between what the insurances are trying to give us as to what we lost. Now we have extra.
Making things already difficult time.
Now, according to Grout, when it comes to how long the testing takes, it can come down to where the lab is. He says for them, they actually send their testing samples to an out-of-state lab and usually get them back in about 5 to 7 days. He notes that if it takes longer for someone to get their results back, it might be because the lab testing them is overloaded. In the studio, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
All right, Cody, thank you very much. New tonight, more than $60 million is coming to Washington state to help combat fentanyl. This comes after Attorney General Bob Ferguson found Walmart liable for its role in fueling the opioid epidemic through its pharmacy. According to the Attorney General's office, the $60 million is part of $1.1 billion the office has recovered from 11 companies that fueled the opioid epidemic. That money will be split between cities, counties, and the state and will be dedicated solely to opioid treatment programs. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. Last Saturday, Spokane police reported a bail bonds agent was attempting to take a man into custody after an alleged altercation. The agent shot and killed the man. Police say first responders found the victim with multiple gunshot wounds. Today, Autumn Smith came forward to tell us the victim in that shooting was her husband, Chris.
She was daddy's girl, and it was the hardest conversation. And then my son, like, it hurts a mom's heart to see her boy break down.
Autumn told KREM 2 she is organizing a vigil for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. She also says an official service will be held later this month. Police have not identified the shooter or shared more details about if that person will face charges. One man remains in critical condition tonight after being shot in downtown Spokane. Police say they do have a man in custody for this shooting. It happened at around 8 o'clock last night near State Street and Pacific Avenue. Police say they found the victim shot in the middle of the street right by the House of Charity. At this point, we don't know what led up to the shooting or if the two men even knew each other. Just hours before that shooting, one person was killed, another seriously hurt in a car versus pedestrian collision. Police say a man and woman were walking across the street when they were hit by a car. The woman died. The man is in critical condition. Tonight, the driver of that car was not hurt and stayed in the area, according to police, to cooperate. Right now, police do not believe the driver was speeding or under the influence. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. North Idaho College made an appeal to the Idaho Supreme Court to overturn a Kootenai County judge's decision to reinstate college president Nick Swain. In June, the judge's ruling said North Idaho College cannot place Nick Swain on administrative leave under the term of his employment contract. It is unclear when the decision to file that appeal was made. Also in North Idaho, FEMA has identified 483 disaster resilient zones across the country that could face serious impacts from climate change, including a large section of north central Idaho. This is a look at the Community Disaster Resilience Zone map of the Northwest. It shows a large section of Idaho County. The areas in blue have been identified as areas that are underserved and most at risk of disaster. These areas will be prioritized for federal support to cover the costs and provide aid if a disaster hits these areas. Well, the search for an escaped killer entered day 7 today. The inmate on the run has been spotted several times now since he broke out of a nearby prison late last week. Right now, the search is focused on a suburb of Philadelphia. New video shows the moment he broke out of a Pennsylvania prison. You can see him just kind of crab walk up the wall right there in the prison yard. The acting warden says a guard on duty was supposed to be watching. And heat records were broken in cities all across the country today. It's all part of a deadly heat wave that is capping off what is officially now the hottest summer ever recorded. In New York City, temperatures are about 20 degrees higher than usual. This late summer heat wave has challenged schools without adequate cooling systems. This week, districts in at least 9 states had to close or dismiss students early. The United Nations Weather Agency says August was the hottest on record and predict next summer could be worse.
I think we're going to continue to see significant impacts on people and the planet unless countries act. And that means reducing greenhouse gas emissions, transitioning towards more green infrastructure, green energies, green jobs.
Experts say taking those steps now could help avoid the worst impacts of the climate chaos.